wave generators, wave generators,
We're wave generators.
wave generators,
And this is the Cabbages Podcast.
Wave generators, wave generators, wave generators, wave generators, wave generators, wave generator 2. Nosaj from New Kingdom. Thank you, brother, so much. Love you guys.
Hello, Gary.
Hi, Jeff. How's it going?
Gary, I have an immediate question.
All right.
And it's not especially having to do with the film, but it has to do with the film choice.
Because this film does raise a lot of questions.
Yeah, but my question is more
why did we watch this movie?
No. Are we back? You know what I'm saying? Are we back? Are we back though? Because this isn't a we back choice.
No.
We got into this thing with the 90s where we wanted to represent the 90s with some good films and some bad films. Totally understand. Made for some really interesting conversations.
Yeah.
But if we're going to pick something like this, I can't in good conscience say we back.
No. This is uncharacteristic. I have my long list of the movies that we could do this season.
We usually don't fuck with mediocre.
No. This is a good Rotten Tomatoes rating. This has a 67%.
Yeah, people like this movie.
It has 67% on Rotten Tomatoes.
People like this movie, but they say the vaguest things about it. They're like, it's pretty good. I thought the performances were good.
People did not hate this movie. Kind of and a lot of stuff we talk about, there are at least some group of people who were like, I hated that movie.
Yeah, right.
And then we go into why
you can't really hated it.
There's not much.
I didn't like watching it twice, I'll tell you that much.
No, we're talking about, just for if you haven't read the episode description yet, we're talking about Knock at the Cabin, starring WWE superstar Dave Bautista, and it's an M. Night Shyamalan joint.
And more fun, we're going to talk to Wave Generators about it.
Wave Generators, who I think, truly one of my favorites right now, doing amazing work. New album is incredible. They're 2 for 2. We're going to talk to them about this movie. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the album, but probably we'll just talk about this movie because.
But I will say this, even if it's a great conversation, and will be, I don't think we're back.
I don't think we're back yet. I don't think this counts. Let's revisit that at the end and see how we feel. But I don't get the sense that we back just yet.
We not back.
Not just yet. Well, we'll be right back. All right, I am thrilled to introduce our guests for today's show. Man, joining us now are Wave Generators. In 2024, the New York-based duo of Height Keech and Nosaj of New Kingdom dropped After the End, which, if you pay attention to Cabbages, know was my favorite album of the year. And sure enough, they are back in 2025.
Yes.
With, as DJ Khaled would say, another one. This was called Runaway with a Wild and a Rare One. And you can cop that right now on Bandcamp or wherever music is streamed or sold. Trust me, you do not want to miss these guys live. But now they're here with us, and we could not be happier to have them here. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, guys. It's awesome. And also, thanks for having us at your at the school trip.
Oh, the secret.
Secret movie club.
Secret movie club.
School trip.
You guys are at Secret Movie Club. You got to see something very special that night. Will not be screened again. I might
probably ever.
I might be the only person who has a copy of it at this point. And me and Amazon, the other people have a copy of this.
That's right.
That might be true.
But it was a doozy. So we guys had you over there for our little Secret Movie Club. We'll do another one of those, I'm sure, soon. And you guys are alumni now. You are in the club for sure. We're doing things a little differently this season than we've been doing. Each season generally has a bit of a theme. Just to give people some background, we did 90s before. We've done a whole season of stoner movies. We've done a whole season where we had rappers in movies, which is
the Leprechaun season.
We had a Leprechaun season. Well, but the wrap up is why I have Living Large as a not an official copy. I'll say that kind of in a tab on this browser, waiting for me, so I can report back on a certain Jungle Brothers presence in said film. So we will report back on that for sure.
Maybe the first rapper movie.
I mean, it's up there. I mean, I have to say, like, where's Disorderlies in that lineage?
I think it was before that.
It could be. And then, like, I don't remember when Tone Loc started doing movies, so there may be a chance that he might have gotten in there a little early. But nonetheless, that was a recommendation from you, Nosaj. I do appreciate you looking out on that front. But guys, we're doing wrestling movies this season, and we're talking about stuff where wrestlers are transferring into the world of acting, because wrestling is real and not acting. We're doing Cabin in the Woods. We're Cabin at the End of the World is the name of the book. We're doing Knock at the Cabin, which is
a knock at the cabin in the woods.
A knock at the cabin in the woods. Like, it's just sort of like it's a title. It's just a title.
The cabin is in the woods. We have to be fair to the cabin and all.
Indeed.
Knocking on the cabin.
And we've got two factors in here that I think are interesting. I want to kind of start by asking you guys about. One is that it stars Dave Bautista of WWE fame. So that's our wrestler components. We
Six-time champion.
We tick that box. And the second is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, which I think if anybody over the age of, I'd say, 35, like, that means something for sure.
A lot. It means a lot.
So I'm going to ask you guys, and you can answer how you see fit, but just, are either of you either wrestling fans or M. Night Shyamalan fans?
Both. Because things go bump in the night.
Things take bumps in the night.
Things take bumps in the night.
Oh, we're ready on this. We're ready.
No, we're ready.
I can't believe it.
I'm going to confess that I don't think I'd ever seen. Oh, well, the one movie I'd seen of his is Sixth Sense, which I don't know if you guys have had this experience before. I went to see it in the theater and completely just daydreamed and didn't pay attention at all. And everybody was like, that movie was crazy. And then just in preparation for this, I looked up what the twist was, because like I just was staring off into space. But I have not seen any of his movies since then. I did see the show Servant.
Oh, you did watch Servant?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's like his best movie? Probably
Sixth Sense is kind of regarded as one of the best.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think most people fuck with that most.
Unbreakable.
Well, they made three movies with that. Yeah, but they made 3 movies with that. They did Unbreakable, then they did Split, and then they did Glass to kind of bring it all together. So they made.
I think Unbreakable was really popular though.
Yeah, well, it was like the Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson together was just like, that's, who doesn't want to see a movie with those two guys in it, right? In the 90s, especially.
That was some unsettling
shit.
That was some unsettling shit. But Samuel Jackson had that Afro wig going hard. He was going hard, looking like Anthony Braxton.
Yo,
serious. Hard on that. I was like, man, my son just dropped the Sixth Sense on me the other day, because I told him, I said, my doctor made a referral for me to go see a neurologist. And I said, check this out. I said, he wrote down, he wrote down auditory hallucinations. And I was like, are you trying to give me an album title? It's on the referral. And I said, the thing about it, Lucas, man, come on now. I can't shoot the devil and kill the gods. I said, what about all this time? It was the auditory hallucination. And he said, what are you, fucking Sixth Sense? What are you?
He dropped that on you. Wow. Oh my God.
I love it.
The thing with M. Night Shyamalan is, like, I've seen most of his movies. I haven't seen all of them. I there were certain points where I was like, I gotta stop. I have not seen like Lady in the Water. I did not see his Last Airbender adaptation, but I've also seen some of his worst stuff, period. I saw, I don't know if anybody remembers After Earth, which was Jaden Smith and Will Smith.
I watched about 20 minutes of that and was like, I'm just going to literally do anything else.
It's a film where they bait you into thinking you're watching a Will Smith movie, but you're actually watching a Jaden Smith movie.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, I know that one.
Will Smith is crippled for the entire movie.
Yeah,
basically,
yeah,
after
the
like
only
the first
one.
10 minutes. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck. I'm like now watching just Jaden Smith like with saber-toothed tigers or whatever. Like it was just such nonsense. But one of my personal favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie is probably is terrible. I love it because it's terrible, and it's called The Happening.
Yeah.
And I don't
Okay.
know, has anyone here seen The Happening?
Is that with Marky Mark?
That is Marky Mark.
The one.
It's not a damn thing happening.
Where the trees are causing people to kill themselves. It's insane.
Oh, I did see that. I did.
You
see
saw
that.
that happening. Okay, so you know that's a crazy.
Which is
fucking movie.
not far from where we are in this cabin.
No.
Right.
I hate to come out the gate with conspiracy theories, but I have a firm belief that Knock at the Cabin and The Happening are part of the same cinematic universe.
Okay.
I'm listening.
I choose to believe that they are. And I have a line that Dave Bautista's character Leonard says that feels to me like it's calling back to that moment.
What's that?
And it's it's one of the few quotes I wrote down because I'm like these both sort of have this sort of apocalyptic idea, being betrayed by nature and kind of how this is going. And we're seeing it, and we don't get much in this new movie in Knock at the Cabin, new being 2023 versus 2008. We don't get much of what else has happened in the world, so we don't know. We could believe that's just like ours, but it could be again something he's created. But there's a line that Leonard says that really is something, goes, and it's after I think the third person is sacrificed.
Okay.
And
So he's the only one
Sabrina,
left.
well, he's the only one left. Sabrina, he says maybe the truth is that the end was happening long before we got to this cabin, and what we're seeing now isn't the fireworks; it's just the final flickering sparks. So
After the end of the world?
so that to me seems like a callback, at least existentially, to the idea that there have been sort of apocalyptic events have occurred, and they've either been explained away or dismissed. And like I think about it in the context of because obviously there's a COVID thing that goes on in this movie as one of these, plagues. So
Was it shot during?
I mean, it was
Is that
shot.
why it's out in the middle of nowhere?
Well, it came out in 2023, so you gotta.
You would assume, that it's.
It was the script was. I think he did the first. I think the first draft of the script was available as early as 2019. That was with the original screenwriters because the book came out I think in 2017 or 2018. The original, the other
That's
two guys.
pretty fortuitous to have a removed ass movie.
Yeah.
Right before you need a removed ass movie, like that's. You're going to get greenlit at some point when they allow it. You're going to get greenlit quick. That's crazy.
And what's really interesting is it doesn't require much, and people can be safe, in terms of how they're thinking about it. Like this is a time where apocalypse is very much on people's minds.
Yeah.
But it's also there's two kinds of movies that were out at that time, and there was this, which is how do we do something that feels very small, but is for the big screen, and then it's that there was an Avatar movie. I think Avatar: The Way of the Water was out. Came out Christmas, and it kind of was carrying it. It was #1 for 7 weeks, and then in week 8, this movie comes out and beats it. Where it's how much of that movie is green screen and effects. So they don't have to be. A lot of those characters aren't in the same room.
If I read correctly, they delayed or maybe even pushed up this movie.
They pushed it up
so that didn't need to compete with some Marvel thing.
Yeah,
Ant-Man battles another bug.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the other bug is. I don't watch superhero stuff, so
you don't. You do not.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm not like you, man.
Oh, he's so cool. He watches.
Care about superheroes, dude.
We've got this premise, and this premise being that of self-sacrifice, and within that first act, who did you believe in the beginning of this movie? Who did you believe was actually correct?
I believed that the 4 people were correct, but I was instantly sort of annoyed. I'm starting to have this thing where movies where the insane murderous people are right should maybe just be stopped at this point, now that there's QAnon and stuff. The idea of everybody thinks you're crazy, but you're actually gonna save everything through.
It's a fine line to
Yeah.
walk at this juncture of our lives, for sure.
Yeah,
Right.
but I believed them, because I guess I was just like, what else? What would the movie be if they were just crazy people or something? But what about you guys?
I didn't believe any of them, but there was a part where who's the guy with the red who dies first?
Oh, Redmond. Yeah, Redmond.
When he's fighting and he looks and they show his eyes. There's a part where and then there's a part when the nurse, they show her eyes. And it's really kind of like, this person is either this person is in a death cult and is so wrapped up in something that they can't control, or they've really seen something and they're so scared that this is the only way they know how to transmit it to you. Like, so, but maybe the grasshopper.
Maybe the grasshopper's okay.
I kind of believe the grasshopper as like the first person and maybe the only truthful person there, because the grasshopper's crew is calling out the alarm in the back, like, it's going down, and now his fate is in their hands, but he was just an innocent, and now we've become the grasshopper, right? So
yeah,
I kind of maybe the grasshopper, just because he was the first person on the screen, he was like and it was just so obvious, like,
And the maddening part of that is the grasshopper doesn't get freed in the end.
Right.
They still
they
in
leave them in the jars.
They're stuck in a jar where they will
Got it.
assuredly die.
Like us.
Isn't that so human?
Yeah,
Which is
but like
Save yourself by sacrificing yourself, but you can't even open a fucking jar lid.
It's like, but that's the happening, right? The happening is like, that's why the trees got mad at them. The trees got mad at them because they were given nature. They took nature for granted, and that's that's the logic. For me, watching this movie, like
they use nature for their own gain.
Yeah, but for me, like I watched this and I was going like, okay, everything Andrew is saying is what's going on in my head. His like, I'm going to break down. We were targeted. When he said that was the first one. I was like, oh yes, you were. Like I understood that language very clearly, and like it's so funny where like when you have characters saying lines like I don't have a homophobic bone in my body, and I'm like, that's the most homophobic thing you could say other than a slur, other than just saying a slur. That's pretty
also
much right.
Guaranteed you've had a homophobic bone in your body. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But real.
Okay.
Real though. Those women have definitely banged some homophobes if they're hanging out with this crew.
So,
but whose parents came and visited them?
Oh, those were Andrew's parents. So the one who was the most vocal against these guys, the skeptic, I'd say, for the lack of this. So Andrew is a skeptic, and
right. Andrew's the one that wins on. So I feel like Andrew, though, his ego and what is making him is creating like a blockage into listening to what's going on, where his partner is trying to listen to what's going on.
Yeah,
but because he's so like, you're against us, because we're
and his partner is rewarded by that curiosity, is rewarded by being the symbol of media susceptibility, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like the people that are sort of asking questions and want to know more are punished in this film. Oh, you care about this? You gotta die. You're the one that gets sacrificed. The cold hard dickhead who doesn't believe anything and is just like working out all the time because he got in a fight in a bar.
Yeah.
That guy gets to live and see your daughter grow up.
But this is also where you get into like these 2020s horror tropes, where like the real bad guy is trauma. And like in
Yeah.
his case, the reason why he could not get to where Eric was until
Right.
the end was that the attack that he recalls in Boston, where Redmond, or who the guy who was calling himself Redmond,
Right.
or Ron Weasley from Harry Potter, he from that experience scarred him in ways that made him feel like a victim and feel like he could not trust. And in this moment, he was reliving those feelings very well. And it doesn't hurt his case that, oh, this is the guy who's come to my cabin. This guy, well, now I have very, very good reason to distrust. I mean, like Shyamalan.
And true, he did, if that's real. And we're sort of left with a vague idea that it might be him, it might not be him.
But the wallet sort of.
The wallet proves.
Shyamalan doesn't like vague in this movie. He likes explicit in this movie.
He does, but we don't see his face in the attack scene.
We don't, no.
And there's no guarantee, like we didn't know the guy's name. We just know he wasn't Redmond.
Yeah.
Redmond. Because I don't want to say Redman.
He was not Redman either.
I would love it if Redman was in this movie. Now we're fucking talking. Bautista, Redman, Method Man, one of these other women. That's
well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's definitely something about the messenger, because if 3 white men kicked in my door, like the first thing we're thinking is like, we don't believe you.
Yeah.
Like, and we can't hear the message because of the trauma.
Yeah. So
that's definitely.
Once again, if you had let the black woman run the show, maybe we have a different result. Maybe we don't have to watch these people die if it's explained. Because I do actually love Bautista in the film. I thought it was a good performance. I thought he was good, and he was very unsure as a character and narrator, which I thought was cool. Like, he doesn't understand everything that's going on. He just knows he's been sent for a purpose. Yeah. I thought he did a great job. But if that guy started talking, if I was a part of that group and that guy started talking the way that he was talking, I'd be like, just out of the way here and let me take control here. Let me talk to these people and see if I can do something. You're not making any sense.
Wait, hold on. Where's one of my notes? One of my notes down. Because, like, who worked at the medical center? Was that the woman?
The nurse was, I forget all their names.
Yeah, Sabrina.
Sabrina.
She worked at the medical center. The other woman worked at the place with the menu, right? The Mexican menu, right?
She was a cook.
Right. I mean, I don't know. There's a part of me that just because I just don't believe anybody. I'm like, how did?
That's where I was at. I don't believe these 4 people are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I don't know that we need to kill one of these gay people to save the world. I don't know that that's what we need. This thing is supposed to be sort of I think this thing is a kind of a straightforward metaphor.
Yeah.
That gets muddled up with plot. The plot kills the metaphor for me.
What's the metaphor?
The metaphor is you got to sacrifice to stop global warming.
Okay.
That's where I was at with it. It was like this whole thing was like, if you're not going to do this, then it doesn't matter who you are or what you believe or who you're with, you're going to die.
I think that's
sacrifice yourself.
Like Metro Gas as Exxon, like that thing was there, right? And then even like the crossword puzzle, like was like our everyday thing, and then some apocalypse on top of it. It was, it was all like, yeah.
But the plot points killed it because, like, okay, the timing thing where they're constantly need to be looking at their watches to get this right is very confusing. And I if I were sitting, first of all, tied to a chair isn't the best way to like convince people that they need to do something. Like if I were to tie you guys to a chair and say you should do this podcast, you'd be like, I'm not doing the podcast.
Better we just ask you.
Right. Yeah. Just like, hey guys, hi, we're just visitors and we just like to talk to you for a moment. Didn't work. So immediately kidnapping is what we're going to go to. I don't know. I think that's kind of crazy.
And then also for me to really like give in to this as like a biblical play, what about from an atheist?
Right. Exactly.
This means nothing to me.
That's
Like,
how
we
I kind of
Yeah.
felt like I was rooting for them to not kill any of themselves and just be like, fuck you. Like like I don't know. Is maybe I feel like maybe if I was like from a more religious background or something, I could have a more like visceral feeling. But I just feel like my instinct is just like, yeah, right. You know, like I think that would have been a cooler movie if they didn't, the one guy just wasn't like, fuck it, I'll die. I don't know. But maybe I'm seeing it all wrong.
No,
I feel you entirely.
Yeah, and I'm going to say not only are you not wrong, but what you're describing is the ending of the book.
That's what my wife was saying. Yeah, we compared notes a little bit.
So the book and the movie diverge basically after Redmond's sacrifice as the first sacrifice. The book changes in ways that movie and the book diverge from each other. It's like the premise remains like in there, it's like after Redmond's sacrifice, Andrew escapes, gets the gun from the car, and kills Adrian, the cook.
Yeah.
But then in a struggle for the gun with Leonard Bautista, accidentally shoots and kills the little girl. When that happens, so that's completely separate from what we've been seeing. And then Sabrina, the medic, who's now disillusioned after seeing the death of the little girl because her sacrifice doesn't count because it wasn't willing. Like, she kills Leonard and then ultimately kills herself. And then it's the two guys, Eric and Andrew, are left at the end to see what happens. The book ends on a much more ambiguous note. And that's something that M. Night Shyamalan is, in my experience, incapable of doing. He is incapable of leaving things ambiguous. You know exactly where everybody stands at the end of an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's not real to him.
Well, do you think, because that was my wife's breakdown, was that the book was more the whole time, and when you get to the end, everything is completely ambiguous as to like, is this real or is everyone in this situation imagining this? And that seems more exciting or interesting, but I was also at a loss for like, how would you do that in a movie? Maybe it's just like a harder. Yeah,
I can understand the differentiation a little bit, but choosing this, like, it just felt like this thing was a cop out to start. You know what I mean? Like, it started as a cop out and it ended as a cop out. It's like, if we're going to do this, we got to sacrifice ourselves, but only one of us, and only if we're a family. And also the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are just people.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, like, there's callbacks to Revelations in this. And I'm like, this is the least biblical thing I've ever seen. This has nothing to do with religion whatsoever. Nothing, except that you keep telling us it's religious.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. I reject the premise that we need to be religious in this movie. While people are committing suicide. I'm good.
It had more to do with man-made disasters.
Yeah.
And what we did, right?
Yeah.
And I like also the side, especially what's going on today with so many atrocities. Like, where do you, as a man, where does your humanity stand? Are you going to wait until it comes to your door?
Yeah.
Do you wait until it comes to your doorstep? Or...
And when it does, so this is the weirdness of the film, right? When it comes to your doorstep, how will it look? Will it look like humans giving you a choice? I don't think it's going to look like that, dog. I don't think humans are going to come give you a choice. There's a movie version of what is happening. Not to get too deep into like how awful everything is today, but like there's a movie version of what happens where you get a choice like this. And then there's the real life thing where it's just like, oh, choice? No. We long said goodbye to choice.
But what price should you have to pay to be here? Like,
it's a wonderful question.
It is. It's a
what a wonderful question.
It's a bold question, right?
What's the price? Like, you just get to be here just to be here and take up space?
It also just suggests that there is an individualist solution to any of these things, which
there's
is
a simple solution.
False. Which is already false.
No,
it's already false. It's like if this is a metaphor for climate change, let's say, and our destruction of the planet, and so we're reaping what we sow in that respect.
Which I believe it is. Yeah.
What would one individual's personal choice do to change?
It would change them.
But not change the situation.
Right, but that's the price.
So that's what's dubious to me. And again, this really comes down to for me is this is the problem with, I would say, these kind of later period M. Night Shyamalan B movies is he makes these films with very attractive premises. So I don't know if any of you
if you sold this movie to me to watch when it first was being sold, in 2023. I read a description, was like, oh, I could be down with this. Then I saw he was directing, and I was like, okay, all right. I can still be down with this.
Yeah.
And then about 20, 30 minutes into the film, I was like, maybe I'm out on this.
But have any of you seen his next movie, his latest movie, Trap?
Yeah, I haven't.
Wait, do we see Trapped?
That's the one with Josh Hartnett.
They're at a concert.
In a concert.
Oh, I saw that.
So that is a great example of here's a premise, right?
Right.
The premise is there's a serial killer in a stadium, in a sports arena, and they've got the place around it. It's a trap for him. And how does he get out of it? And so much like in this film, the first two acts, the first act sets it up and this is the premise. This is what you saw in the trailer. Then the second act kind of builds out. You're like, how's he getting out of this thing? But as in this movie, the third act stops connecting to the reality of what you saw in the preceding two. I don't believe for a second what happens in the third act of this movie has much to do with what happened in the previous two. Once, like the conversation between Eric and Andrew after Leonard has sacrificed himself is so undeserved, so implausible that like
they're free. Listen, at that point, they're free. They just need to find the truck those people came in.
Yeah.
And the keys. And they can get the fuck out of there.
But are they free?
The world is ending, but also, like, is it?
If the world is ending, are you free? But if the world is ending, are you free?
But it's not. I don't know that it was. I don't believe that it was.
Right. You have to not believe that the world is ending.
Yeah.
Or you have to not believe that the world is ending on these biblical terms.
Right.
Right. And
that if you are to kill yourself willingly, the rest of humanity can live. If someone told me that, I'd be like, well, fuck them. I'm sorry, but like I get a choice. If you're giving me a choice, I choose to live.
If you can finagle like man-made disasters into revelations, right, and have people doing things, right?
Which like Revelations is specific in language but vague in execution, right? Like that's its whole thing.
Yeah,
and there's lots of different theories as to like how it was written, who it was written by, and why, and all these things. The reason there's so many questions is because it's a poem, essentially. It's a long poem about the end of humanity. This is a shorter poem about the end of humanity. I don't really particularly love either poem about the end of humanity. Let's put it that way. The parallels to me fall totally flat because like the disasters in the Bible. I read this thing cover to cover. The disasters in the Bible are not man-made. They're God-made. And I don't pretend like I know what God's up to, but I don't think he's just gonna be like, all right, until this fucker dies.
Planes are gonna drop
until this fucker dies, down goes a plane, down goes another one.
Down goes a plane.
Here we go,
Yeah.
one at a time until they figure it out.
Yeah.
Like that's just not how it's ever worked. It's just never. I don't know, man. This thing was full of holes.
Is God gonna keep the palm trees under the sea?
There's only one way to find God, guys.
Like, is God? Like, how does that work? That's why I'm like, nah, man.
I'm getting closer all the time, baby.
This is a cult. This is a cult. You know, this is the cult. This is the cult. This is the cult.
I gotta say,
so many cults were started on the idea that somebody understood Revelation, understood God.
Yeah, sure, of course. But I will say that one of my favorite things about a Shyamalan movie is that he's not afraid to have a visual as ridiculous as planes falling from the sky. True. I love that about his work because it's what made the Happening such a funny movie. People throwing themselves into wood chippers, like the kind of stuff that just like, what the fuck? Like you kind of laugh at it. You're like, this is ridiculous. And like when they like after Leonard dies and it's just Eric and Andrew like on the porch and you can see the plane falling behind him, and you're just like, I'm like laughing at that point. Like, that's funny to me. After a very dramatic scene, I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, an EMP could have taken these planes out. Like, there's a plausible explanation for how it could be. And you're just like, that's funny.
Like a horror Wes Anderson. Like a
What do we make of the pre-recorded segment? The fact that the Andrew had done some sort of reading or test cases or something with the plague that was supposedly starting because one of them died. Yeah, I think it was Redmond. When Redmond dies, there's a plague, and the guy later on, Andrew's like, we already knew this thing existed.
It's when Adrian dies.
Adrian, okay. So Adrian dies, we get a plague, but that plague has been happening for a while, and it's an isolated thing.
That's COVID. That's just COVID. That's a standard.
Right. And then
they showed that in the beginning. They showed it in the beginning in the writings.
And then there's a thing. Oh God, that opening is so whack.
They showed
it like there's a menu where they're drawing on a menu, and they're like the disturbing drawings.
I want the quesadilla
though. Would have made.
I would like a quesadilla though. That would be nice.
Fair.
But that was her. They must have been saying when she was getting the message that she couldn't stop.
Right. None of them could stop drawing on their like
stop drawing like little
there's
kids.
A report card in there. There's like a medical report. Yeah. But in any event, like there's also this pre-recorded segment. Like we're never to believe that anyone is correct. By the way, the only thing we're told about the end of this like series of plagues is that there are less deaths this hour than there were the hour before. People are still dying in droves, but it's not as bad. Isn't that better? Aren't you glad you killed yourself and missed your daughter's future? That you had a vision of right before you killed yourself? Yeah. Isn't that better? Isn't it better just to be dead and know that like a few less people died? Thumbs up. At one hospital, by the way. This wasn't like the only hospital that was taking patients on.
Remember the hospital here during COVID? They were throwing people in the back.
Yes.
In Queens.
I fully, truly believe that this sacrifice was in vain. Nothing improved. Planes still fell out of the sky. Once planes start falling out of the sky, first of all, we can't fly any more planes for a while.
You can't walk anywhere either.
No. Planes are big.
Can't breathe anything.
They're bigger than humans. They can take out multiple humans. So, like, if all of these things are happening, that one death, it's great that there was a positive moment, but like,
but I go back.
I don't think it's over, guys.
But I go back to the line that Leonard made, like the line that he had, like what we're seeing now isn't the fireworks. These are the
Right.
final flickering sparks. I don't know if just because these guys can see the apocalypse in their visions, that this does anything other than slow the inevitable. Like
Right.
I think
again, I'm thinking I didn't grow up with, in a household where reading Revelation or reading the Bible was important. So I can't speak to like the specifics of it, but my understanding of Revelation in a admittedly very superficial way is like it doesn't show that there's anything there that we can do to stop it as man.
Or
Right?
essentially, I mean, it's been a while since I read it.
We could be saved. My understanding
shout
is you
out
could be
Stain.
saved, but
do you want
Yeah. That's the thing is like it's basically when the dividing line comes down, which side are you going to be on? That's Revelations.
Yeah.
the one that plays my record?
Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty good.
I like that.
I mean, I would not describe your music as apocalyptic. I feel like it's a bit too cool for that. It's really the best way to say.
It's not apocalyptic, but it's like post-apocalyptic radio station, like because
Sure.
it had to like it's time for culture to begin, meaning like you had to shake everything up. All the kings had to go away, and then you had to have a whole reset.
I think you're starting to understand why we picked you for this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to have a reset for the apocalypse, right? So you had
After
to
the end. After the
end, right? There's no preconception of what you think is cool, right? You think about it for yourself. You just survived an apocalypse. Here's the music for you.
This
And
is
it's about the apocalypse. It's just music.
totally. This is a very what side are you on film.
Yeah.
It's like, are you with these like crazy suicidal death cults, or are you with these people, I guess, that take a long time to figure out they need to make a sacrifice to make things better?
Yeah. See, to me,
And then there's, I think, probably everyone here who sides with neither of these fucking idiot sides. Both of them drove us crazy.
because it's not a fair binary.
No,
it's not a fair binary.
At all. They
presented as a binary choice, but we don't see it as that. And we also, with the limited information we get at the end, it doesn't suggest that the binary has done anything than slow what is inevitable. And to me, to go back to the point of this, like I would have much rather have heard a Wave Generators song on that radio than Boogie Shoes.
Boogie Shoes.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Boogie Shoes was.
What the fuck was Boogie? I'm asking you guys now. I need to know why the fuck is Boogie Shoes in this movie?
I want both of y'all in this.
I want you guys to weigh in on that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like musically, whatever, but I feel like that was my favorite scene was the turning on and off of the song over and over again. It could have maybe been any other song, but
that's my issue is that it's a very powerful thing, except that it's this fucking kooky, stupid song.
Right.
Casey and the Sunshine Band fucking
my fucking parent killed himself.
Right.
Shoes. What the fuck are we doing here? Does anything matter? Does any of this it's just disrespectful?
It makes it feel to me, and you guys tell me what you think about it. It makes it feel to me like it feels like a very nihilistic choice.
Okay,
because we live in a very nihilistic country. Are you going to buy the new Solomons when you know that the world is going to end in 6 months? Yes.
Listen, but it's Boogie Shoes' fault that the fucking world's ending. Boogie Shoes,
right?
I can't hold it against Casey and the Sunshine. I can't hold that against
Casey
and the Sunshine, man. I cannot.
No.
This is why every single thing that is happening now, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Boogie Shoes.
No one did anything to us. We were self-absorbed.
We are all Casey and the Sunshine.
Ignored. Right? We got on social media. They gave us social media and we looked at ourselves. That's why I said FaceTime with myself be nobody but me. Right? Like we did that. I hope you look good during the apocalypse. I hope you the weight that you want, your haircut, your sneakers. I hope you look good because you did it, right?
Listen,
What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna lie. The hat and the shoes are gonna match when the fire comes down.
Oh, yeah.
Respect.
Real.
When the man
Respectfully.
comes to town. When the man
Respectfully, when the man comes to town, he's gonna take a second and be like, all right, I appreciate game recognized game. Fucking lay down in the street and die.
The devil's doing fit checks.
Real.
Yo.
Fit checks.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's how you're gonna go. And you know what? I'm not gonna wear this hat.
Unwound shirt till I die.
All they gotta do is try a record. It'll be all right.
Let me ask one question,
please.
Back to the what we're perceiving as a kind of central flaw in the plot. Like, who does it speak to? The idea of like the whole world will be fixed if you do this. You know, like I'm thinking like probably most environmental stuff comes down to like we need to start using like plastic or like paper straws or whatever. Like not, it's the whole thing is like not one person has to do anything huge. It's like everybody's got to adjust a little bit. You know? What'd you say?
Paper straws.
I gotta use 3 paper straws.
Well,
I've been trying to use paper straw with shape. That's the apocalypse coming.
But like, I guess I'm saying like I don't relate at all to the idea of like I did all this or like I need to fix this as one person or one family or something. Yeah. And who does anybody relate? Do you guys relate?
No, because this is the individual fallacy. And Jeff, do you remember what I text you? Because when we watch these movies, we don't watch them. We watch them in our respective homes and we text each other. Do you remember what I said to you about the 4 people when they came in? I said, these guys are liberals. That's what I said about these 4 people who enter the house. These are liberals because it is their offering. The way like the same that
they think.
So it's hard to define them because like they're a death cult.
Yeah.
So
but what they say,
I guess
matters.
They're capitalists. I don't know what they represent anymore.
See, to me, what they say matters because when the line is, "I don't have a homophobic bone in my body," is like a line out of like Get Out. It's a line of just like, "Oh, come on," like I don't have a racist bone in my body. Like that sort of line is just like that's deliberate because like a lot of this language in this film is very stilted and some of the line reads are really bad. You know, what is it like? One boy's like, "Go fuck yourself, Mr. Rogers." Andrew says to Bautista as Leonard at some point. Like, so there's some silly lines in there. But some of the lines you latch onto, you're like, oh, I think they're maybe trying to tell me something here.
Yeah, because I think what they're trying to tell us is that the person who says I don't have a homophobic bone in my body, everything that led up to that line, his perspective, his politics, all of it started as a child and started as the country giving him a script. Right. So of course he would say that, right? Right. So like Dan was saying, like, of course the country gave us a script, especially as liberals, that you can change the earth by recycling, even though what do they do? Right.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone is given a script from the beginning, and then you live your life and you go with the script that you're given. And so that's why I say it's already written, right? So of course, you're supposed to say those things.
It's like I compost. Do I feel like I'm making a difference? Do I really feel like I'm making a difference? Or do I just have some fruit flies that I got to deal with now? Like, what's the realities? Like, and I think like this film sort of like it presents this idea that this could be an individual choice. But I think the more we've been digging into this, it suggests that all that an individual does is abatement, not solving a problem. The idea that they're still, maybe the plane stopped falling out of the sky at that moment doesn't mean that they won't fall again. Doesn't mean that God's fingers won't scorch the earth.
Being on the internet for like 4 minutes answers all the questions that this movie brings up. Just roll on to whatever version of the internet you're using. Jump on there for about 4 minutes, scroll around, see what happens. You'll know more about the idiocy of this universe than this movie can ever think to imagine.
It's like your algorithm. Your algorithm, like your personal, is real. And people on the wow, yes, I'm getting.
It is a really wonderful
getting
thing about this film is that whenever technology comes on, it gives us terrible news. Terrible news. Every time they turn the TV on, he's like, one thing I do have to say real quick because it came to mind when he tries to explain the children's show, Strawberry Shortcake, that he's watching, why he likes it, is a really weird thing to put into this movie. Like, that couldn't make the cutting room floor. This thing was pretty long.
Yeah.
But anyway, as soon as they turn the TV on, it's like, horrible death. Everything's bad. No one knows what to do anymore. Everything's bad.
I don't know.
That's how technology works now. Yeah. It was that's a cool part of this movie. I feel like I've been shitting on it. It's well made. There's some cool stuff about it. He shot it on 90s cameras.
Yeah, I mean I don't really feel like I see it. Like I get that he shot it
with the
I don't lenses, and that's cool, but I don't feel like I mean I watched it on a 2000 and I watched it on it was the one of the last things I watched on my
it looked good.
It was one of the last thing I watched on my TV. We just got a new TV, so it looked like a TV that it looked like this looked like a movie on a 2010 TV. Like that was cool, I guess. But like
are you gonna watch it again?
No.
To see on the new okay.
No, I'm not gonna watch it again because you know this and people who listen to this show have probably heard me say this, but I hate horror movies. It is not my genre.
I've taken you to horror movies you like, but that's
it's
true.
not my genre. And I especially hate home invasion horror movies. I do not enjoy that as a genre. So the first act of
that wasn't my genre until Ola really got me into it. And all we do is wait for a white couple to go upstate.
It's over once you get upstate, dog.
Once we see you driving upstate, we say, hold on, pause.
Listen, if you're the less houses you see, that's the less people that can help you, dog.
Yeah, I know. See, in a city, it's like even though we might ignore the screams out the window, like at some point, it's like, all right, something's happening. Yeah. All right, I got to at least be like, make sure see what's going on. Something we got to take care of each other. Like at a city,
you just like take care in typical Queens fashion, you just open the door and knock it off.
I mean, look, I got neighbors who I'm keeping tabs on. It's like I don't know, like if that guy comes back home and she gets into it with him, like I don't know what's gonna happen. I just got to be ready.
Yeah.
Every time we're like in like Never Think or like where are we going? So wherever we're at, Red Cottage Jink houses, we're always like last scene. Wait, bro, last scene.
I think this thing proves nothing and exists for its own kicks in a way.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to grab the audience that much. Mm-hmm. Generally, reviews were like, listen, there's some good stuff going on here. All right, see ya.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Like none of them were like, this is in the canon. It's just like
that's his stilo, though. He kind of like comes through and he makes a movie.
Yeah, it's the idea that like,
there are a bunch of these. There are a bunch of these that come out. The one that comes to mind, these like single metaphor movies, like Mother.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you got it early, it becomes a very annoying film. If you figured it out early that this thing was about Mother Earth,
which you guys might catch on to this by now, but I'm not too quick with like metaphors in movies and stuff. But like with that movie, I just watched it and was just like, that was an insane happening, and then learning about it later was extra enjoyable. I thought, you know what I mean? But
what's Mother?
Mother is
Darren Aronofsky. Darren Aronofsky is got
and it's a singular metaphor about the way we treat the earth.
A lot of people were very frustrated by that movie. A lot of people were quite angry about that movie because I guess it's exactly
who
what you
made
described. Darren Aronofsky, who did like Pie and Requiem for a Dream and all those. I think the end of the issue with this stuff is like I think M. Night Shyamalan is drawn to interesting premises that can sell tickets. Trap is that.
Right.
And draw stars.
Old is that.
Yeah.
You know, where the beach is making you old.
Was that him?
That's him. Old is basically his last 3 movies are Old, Knock at the Cabin, and then this, and then Trap. But like before that is like The Visit, where it's like, why are the grandparents acting so weird? That's the thing. So all these films are basically sounding like the first act and maybe some of the second act is what you see in the trailer, because that's what's interesting to him is the premise. But where it doesn't seem to really provide to be this is a screenwriting thing. It's almost as if he doesn't care about third acts as much as he cares about first and second. He cares about drawing you in.
We got a lot of flashback to things that
didn't matter.
Truly didn't matter. Like, yeah, dude, this guy worked out because he was really upset that he was vulnerable in a bad situation. I get that.
Yeah.
But then the absolute fucking giant, the 310-pound man, totally negates that in every capacity until there's a gun involved.
Especially.
So, like, we get this workout scene, but, like, he never at any point is overpowering of anyone unless he hits him with a weapon.
But it especially negates it if you are somehow stupid enough to think that a 310-pound behemoth could get through that tiny-ass porthole of a bathroom window. Of course he's in the fucking bathroom. He's in the goddamn tub. There's no way.
There's nowhere else he could hide.
Staring at that guy's body. I'm sorry. I'm not making it through that fucking window. Bautista's not making it through that fucking window. I'm sorry. That's a thin man's game.
Side note, Stuber was my shit.
Stuber, see, I like Bautista and stuff, and I'm not as, I don't feel as favorable about him in this as Jeff does. I think Jeff has a bit more appreciation for him in this than I do. I like him. I like that he's comic relief in the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. I like when he does funny things. He's very funny he has a cameo in the new Naked Gun movie.
It's great.
Very funny cameo in that.
Kind of perfect.
I think he's still kind of finding his roles, and I think there are people who appreciate him taking a risk in something like this. But at the end of the day, like
I don't think the movie's failings are his fault. I do think the issue that you have with Bautista in this movie
is that we're supposed to believe he's a school teacher.
That's part of it. More so, I think it's because he has 20 monologues. It's because everything he says is a fucking monologue. And this has been a bug in my craw for a long time. But like too many monologues for one dude makes that dude boring, no matter how great the monologues are or not. That makes them a very boring person in a movie.
I think that starts because his character, the first thing you hear from him is those loud ass footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So he's walking with a purpose, with something to say. So everything he says is going to be on 100.
Yeah.
Because his footsteps are so loud that you're just like, who is this giant walking through the forest? It was like one of the things I was like, ooh, next time I had that nigga bizarre with the footsteps, but I was like, yo, his footsteps are crazy. Like, you gotta use that.
I guess they chose him to confront this young girl because he's a school teacher. But I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe somebody in that group is a parent and can talk to kids too, and isn't a gigantic fucking monster.
And if Agent may want to approach Wen in that field in the beginning, I think it's a very different situation.
100%.
But I guess he has the longest legs and can get there faster, so they chose him to do it. I think
it's the school. I don't know, man. This thing makes a lot of weird decisions. That was fun, Gary.
So great.
It was a lot of fun, but it was serious. We had some serious things we had to talk about because that's a serious film.
Yeah, wave generators, they definitely had the right temperament. They asked interesting questions. They brought up interesting points. I don't think we would have had the same conversation with a different set of guests. I think it was they approached it a certain way and they took our points into consideration
Yeah,
in ways that felt good. I feel like
totally.
we had a good conversation with them for
It
sure
was
as a result.
wonderful, but
Yeah.
this did nothing for our we back status.
Oh,
Nothing.
yeah. I think you're right there.
Other than wonderful guests, but that's just always happening.
No, we pick good people. We have great people on the show,
Real
but
talk.
but
And
this
that
is
was
not
a good
we
match,
back.
all of this, but this is how do we get back to we back?
Because this is not a we back
because
movie.
I don't I just feel like is Dave Bautista the guy that's gonna bring us a we back moment?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I've watched.
We need somebody with some solid stock catalog where they were trying to break in and had to do some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Flops. We got to get back to our roots on one of these.
And it's hard because, like, again, we put together this long list of films that we could do. And, like, sometimes these guys only did, like, a handful of movies. Some of these guys only did, like, one or two. You know, like, it's not like that a lot of these wrestlers got a
And
shot
a lot
to
of
be
them
like,
are very much like C movies.
right, yeah. And so you're not necessarily going to
WWE
get it.
Studios movies.
Yeah, you're not, and we're going to end up doing quite a few of those, I'm sure, just by necessity. But I don't
A
think
couple of them are really, just to interject for a second, a couple of them have like one or two films in their filmography.
yeah.
But those two are total, like, I'm thinking specifically of the man, Piper.
Sure. Yeah, right.
Piper's catalog is short, but his hits, like almost all of them are hits.
Yeah. And Piper did a lot more movies than I realized. Like
Yes.
he did a lot more films.
And then there's like a
over
Hogan
time.
who we've talked about.
Yeah.
There's a
But-
Hogan who's like the whole list is awful.
Yeah. But that's also not necessarily gonna mean a we back moment. I think it to be a truly a Cabbages
It needs
film,
to be, yeah.
we need the right sort
We need a
of
leader.
yeah, you know.
We need a champion of the people.
I think there's somebody.
We need a crowd pleaser.
I think we're on the same wavelength. I think we know who the right.
We need a baby face.
We need somebody.
Somebody who's so over that we can't even stand it.
Exactly. Yeah, we need somebody who has a filmography. And I know just the one to do it.
Yeah?
I know just the guy. And I can smell what he's cooking.
I'm intrigued.
It's the Cabbages Podcast Network.